So it's been a hot minute. I know it's been a while, but I'm gonna just show you guys what I did here. This is super easy. It's two colors. It's your bright pink, your purple, and then my crease on my lid. It's going to be, I'm gonna white and a little bit of a shimmery white. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm using a dome, like a really small dome packing brush. Nope, I want the bigger one. So I'm gonna use my bigger dome packing brush. So you can see it from the side, it's flat, it's a little fluffy, so it allows for you to pack that color on and then blend it at the same time. So I'm gonna go ahead and follow my crease. I'm gonna pack it on. And I'm just gonna outline the crease and go up a little higher because I need to save room for the purple. If I only leave it right where my crease is at, when I go in with my purple, you're not gonna really see the separation of the two colors. So where my crease is at, I'm gonna pack it and then go up just a little bit higher because I'm still gonna blend it out, okay? So I'm gonna pack it right above, right on that crease. So it gives me a really nice shape. And then with that same brush, I'm gonna just lightly just follow it. And I'm gonna make sure we bring it in and then dust it out and kind of blend it out at the same time with the same brush. So we're moving that product up just a little bit, but not too high because we wanna still add a little bit of that white shimmer right above that color. So pack it for intensity because we're just gonna intensify this color. Okay, pack it, follow that shape. And then as you do a little circular motions within that shade of where you applied it at. So you see that I'm still working that product right where I applied it at, and I'm just doing little small circular motions to get that shade blended out. Okay, just like so. So to clarify, I'm using the shade Tipsy Girl, not My Journey, and then I'm gonna finish it with I'm In It, right on the inside of my crease, okay? So I applied that pink as you see, and you see that it's a really bright pink. Now I'm gonna use a little bit of a blending brush, and I'm gonna work it very, very lightly at the edges, okay? And I'm just gonna use like the swishing motion, a little bit of circular, just to get that harsh line blended out. Now we're not gonna do too much, but we're just gonna blend it out enough so you don't see that harsh line. So we're just gonna remove a little bit of that harsh line because then in just a minute we're gonna go in with that purple. And we all have different techniques of doing and applying our eyeshadow, the blending out. You do what works for you. Every look is, it's a different technique. So this is a very simple look. It's gonna be a little warm today, but it's been a while since I did a little bit of a makeup look or even a makeup video. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna do a little something. So you see I have that blended out. Can you see how it's a little smooth out on that edge? And then I'll just kind of work where it needs to be blended out just a little bit more. How does that look? Looks a little bit better. So we're just gonna bring it out just a little, get that blend. Where I grab that smaller dome brush. I like these little brushes for packing on the eyeshadow. So I'm gonna pick up a little bit of product, okay? And then I'm gonna apply it right in that crease. I'm not gonna go above it. I'm gonna apply it right in that crease. So I'm just gonna push it in there. You see where my crease is at? You see how where it divides? I'm just pushing that product right in there. So that's pretty much where you want that product to sit, okay? And then just follow that outline so you can see the separation of the two shades, okay? So you're gonna pack it in and then you're gonna blend it. Then you'll go back in and pack in some more of that purple shade and then blend it. But do not blend up too high, okay? Because then you're just gonna marry those two shades together. You're not gonna see the separation of those two shades. So I kind of like to make sure that oval is really perfectly shaped. And all you have to do, if you see a little bit that's kind of creased in, just go in there and then just push it up higher. But don't go too high up with that brush that you're just gonna just ruin that shape, okay? So with that same brush that I use my pink, I'm gonna blend out that edge. So my brush is gonna be half on the purple and half on that pink shade, okay? And we're lightly going to remove that harsh line within the pink and then within the purple, okay? And we're just gonna blend that out. And like I said, we're gonna go back in with a little bit more purple because we're blending that shade out. So we're pretty much erasing the intensity of that purple, but that's okay because we're gonna build it right back up. We're just trying to remove that harsh line, okay? Okay, now we pick up our brush that we used for the purple. We go back in, same process, pack it in. Stay below that crease because we don't want to go up too high. And just pack it back in. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take off a little of that product on my pink brush, okay? And I'm going to go back in right in between the two shades, and I'm going to just blend, and at the same time I'm going to marry those two shades together so it just looks like a smooth transition, okay? And I'm working within that purple with my brush, and then I'm just kind of doing swishing motions and then little circular motions to bring that shade up, okay? So I'm bringing it up and blending it out. Can you guys see that as I'm looking in the mirror? Okay. So then I'm gonna add just a little bit more purple because, you know, once you blend some of that shade out. So I want it pretty intense, that purple. And it's such a pretty purple too. Okay. And then I'm gonna take my blending brush, I'm gonna clean it, okay? And then I'm gonna go in there and blend it out. Let's blend that inner corner of that eye. And very lightly I'm blending. I'm holding it from the tip and I'm blending very lightly right on that purple and kind of working a little up. Not too high because you do not want to go above that pink. Where that pink is at, do not blend above that because it's just gonna look like a hot mess. Okay, stay within that shade of where you applied it at. Don't go up too high. Okay, so I have it pretty much blended out. And then if I see an area that needs more blending, then I just kind of concentrate on that area. Okay. And if I need to go back in with pink, then I would do so at this point and apply a little bit of pink right above it and then blend it out. But I think that looks good to me. Okay, because now we're gonna go in and cut our crease. I'm gonna use a Pro Conceal to cut my crease. And I'm gonna use a very fine point brush to cut that crease. I need to get a new concealer because I haven't used it for a while and I've actually had it for a while. So I kind of feel like the consistency is a little dried out when I apply it to cut the crease. So I need to get a new one. So I'm gonna dab my brush in there, okay? I'm gonna apply a little bit on and then I'm gonna follow that crease. See, you can tell that it's dry because it just kind of like it snags my skin. I'm gonna go in with a little bit smaller fine point brush, okay? Versus this one's a little bit chunkier. Look at the difference in the two, okay? This one gives it more definition when you outline, and this one just kind of does a bigger section. So I'm gonna add a little bit of product on my brush, and then I'm gonna just follow that crease with the product and outline it. Just like so. And then I'll take my bigger one and then I'll go in there and then just conceal the entire lid. But you can tell it's drying out, so I need a new one for sure. Okay. And boom. And then when we need to correct, let me see if you guys can see that. When we need to correct this little section here, we'll fix it with a little bit of shadow afterwards, and I'll show you how I do that. So I'm gonna take my little tiny blenderful sponge, and I'm gonna dab off that excess concealer. And at this edge here, I'm gonna use my finger to blend it out. So I'm just dabbing in. Okay, see how I did that? And that's pretty much done. I'll use a flat brush to get right under that edge, just to make sure that concealer is all the way down. We brought it down and it's not just sitting right in that crease. Just kind of cleaning it up. Okay, okay, boom. Make sure it's completely even out, and it is. Now we're gonna go in with our lighter shade. So I picked up a little bit of that white, and I'm gonna just tap it on my eyelid. I'm gonna just pack it on, because we're not going to smudge it on. We're just gonna pack it on because we don't want to move the concealer. Follow that shape, tap it on, and then we can go in there and just kind of smooth it out. Okay, don't go in there and then apply it in, you know, zigzag motions as your concealer is just sitting on your eye, because then you're just going to smudge it with your eyeshadow and the concealer, and it's not going to sit where you want it to. Okay, and just like that. So I'm going to go in with that small dome brush, pick up a little bit of that purple, dust it, and then apply it, and then blend out that harsh edge. Okay, so I'm just tapping it. I'm kind of got like a sweeping motion. Just to blend out that harsh line. Okay, and then what I was mentioning on how to clean it, depending how much of that needs to be cleaned, I'll go in with a small detailed brush, and I'm gonna pick up a little bit of that purple, dust it, and then I'm gonna outline it. Just to define it and correct any imperfections from when I added my concealer. Okay. I can pick up my other bigger detailed brush as well if I need to. Put a little bit of product, dust it off, and then you'll see that I can get in there even a lot better with a smaller one actually. Boom. So then now I just outlined it and I corrected it. This one needs to be corrected just a little bit more as well. Just go back in there and give it a little bit more definition, okay? And boom. This look is coming together. So let me go ahead and do a little bit of eyeliner and put on my eyelashes, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now that we have that done, we're gonna go ahead and apply our eyeshadow. This one is the Chantal 3. I always say Chantal 3. I think it's a shade 15 from Lime Life. And I'm gonna be using my Dome brush to apply my foundation. And this one's from Morphe. This is the M6. I love this brush. I already primed my face with our primer spray from Lime Life. So we wanna make sure our makeup stays put. And I'm gonna go ahead and just a few swipes because I don't need that much. Okay, and I just kind of distribute it all over and then pounce it. So you're just kind of dabbing it on your skin. Try not to get into your eyeshadow look. Okay. Get out of my room, Chapo.
Come on, come on, come on. It's a couch. It's a couch.
Okay. Thank you. So we're just gonna pounce it. Don't forget the ears. Want to make sure it's all the same shade. Pounce it, pounce it, pounce it. Bring it down. Look at that. This foundation is just flawless. Okay, so it looks like I went into my eyeshadow just a tad bit. So I'm gonna go with my same purple brush that I use, and I'm gonna correct it just a little bit. And that's okay, because I'm gonna still apply some shade on the bottom. Did I get into my eyelashes? I did. So that's okay, see, I fixed it. And that happens when I put on my foundation. But we're gonna fix it when we put the purple on the bottom. But for the meantime, look. Then I'll take my Blenderful sponge and I'll pick up any excess foundation that I have just sitting on my face. So I'm just kind of blending it out and picking up whatever I don't need, because we don't need it to look thick on our skin. Okay. And look at how flawless my skin looks. I have been using a new product that Lime Life came out with, and let me just tell you, it has done my skin so good. Okay, we'll get all that fixed. So now I'm gonna go in with my concealer, and I'm gonna use my finger because it just warms it up to the touch. And so I'm just doing a few little, and that's, well, that's probably too much. And I'm gonna dab it on the lower part, going up, bring it out. Whatever I have excess of, okay? So I like to either use my finger, because it's a different consistency. The concealer and the foundation, it's a lot thicker, so you don't want to pack on too much. And then I like using my finger because it just melts right into my finger from the touch. And then I'm gonna lift it up, okay? Bring this down a little. So I'm kind of just blending that right in. Dun, dun, dun. And there's multiple ways of doing this. If you don't have a sponge to do this, you can just use your finger. Bring it down and then blend it out. Okay. Same here. So what I like to do as well, I'll take a little baby Blenderful sponge. I'll dab it with a little bit of spray just to moisten up that sponge. Okay, remove any excess and then work it in as well and blend it out that way. And not too much where it's removing it off my face so much, okay? And just gonna blend those 2 shades of my foundation and my concealer. It was too wet, so it took off a little bit too much. Okay, just to kind of help brighten up that under eye. Now that I have that applied, before it creases on me, I'm gonna take my translucent powder from Lime Life. I'm gonna pick up a little product, but what I like to do is blend it out before I set it. So we wanna make sure that it's not it's not settling into our creases. So get that, blend it out, and then set it. I don't bake, so I'll blend it out, make sure it's not in your creases, and then stretch that skin down. I do. And then look. Now it's set. So I'm gonna use a light facial powder from Lime Life. This one is in the number 4. I'm gonna go ahead and set my face with this. What brush do I want to use? I like this one, but it's too fluffy. We'll use a dome brush, okay? I'll pick up another dome brush, pick up some product, and then just pounce it onto my skin. Okay, pick up some product, press it into my skin. Pick it up and then press it. Just like that. Your face just looks flawless. Okay. So we're gonna make this look really intensified as far as in my eyes. And I'm gonna use our smudge proof gel eyeliner from Lime Life. And then my smoke, I'm gonna smoke it out with this brush. So let me go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna also put this in my waterline. Okay, and then I'm gonna blend it out. Now with this gel eyeliner, you have to work quick when you want to blend it out because it will dry on you within 15 seconds. And it is smudge proof. Once you put it on and you wait past those 15-20 seconds, it will not move. It's gonna just sit right where you applied it, so you won't be able to smudge it out. Okay. I mean, you see the difference on the eyes? I just love the black on the bottom. So I already have that blended out. I'm gonna take a brush and I'm gonna apply some of that purple eyeshadow on the bottom of my eye to blend it, to smoke it out. So I'm gonna pick up a little product and I'm gonna smoke it out. Okay. That's good enough. And I'll go back and do the same over here. All right, just fix this. Okay, I'm gonna go back over here and do the same. Oof, this is cute. Okay. So let's go ahead and warm up the face. This one is a darker shade. I just love this one. It's also really great for an eyeshadow. But look at that, it is really an intense color. Okay. Bring it down. Side. Can't use my left hand. Pinch it. We're going to use our blush. It's our Oil Strike setting spray, 16-hour hold. We're gonna make sure we're setting this bad boy. So we're gonna let this dry. Okay, so I have changed. Okay, now I'm going to, oops, let me get this down. Okay, that's great there. Now I'm gonna put on some lip. And I'm thinking ruby chocolate with a little bit of gloss. What do you guys think? Look. So cute. Oh, I just love this combo. I will see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye.